Hey, let's see, what's going on here? Are you guys receiving me all right? How we looking? Look at that juice view. I did a hard reset on the internet here, and it's weird. My stream, my OBS says that we're good, but then I was getting an alert that we're still dropping frames, but it's not showing that we're dropping any frames. So I think we might be good. Right now, it's what I'm being told from my encoder saying that everything's legit right now. So, yeah, it looks like we got a LEAR joining us here on Avail for the evening stream. Good to see everybody back. Callie Simmer, how you doing? You flying tonight, Callie Simmer? Where you flying around? You got to get on that sim pretty soon, right? You were doing some, I saw you on the Wrong Side Sim special jump seat over there at the, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. What was that thing called? The around the world thing, world flight. You gotta be doing some flying, right? Good to see you, Mike Jones, Zach Lewine, double Zach's in here. Zach Squared's in the chat. Crimson Ghost, Rusty C, Taylor Earl, Bomb Tech. I'm curious now. It just hit me. Bomb Tech. Are you an actual Bomb Tech? Like is that what, like, are you a EOD? Alan W, good to see you, man. Last stream I dozed off and dreamed I was on a bus. I could hear V1 talking behind me and really wanted to turn around and see what he looked like. Then I woke up to hear localizer capture. Al W, good to see you, my man. Good to see you. All right. Well, chat, I know I was going to do this stream earlier today, but I want to do some... we had to do the Airbus thing, but I couldn't just go home without doing a LEAR flight. So we're going to fire this puppy up. We're going to take it up to 45,000 feet or so, we hope, and we're going to head over to Key West. Now, as far as sunset goes, I don't know if I want to land at Key West at night. Might have to put a poll up in chat. Maybe we have to get like almost 90% participation of likes to land at Key West at night, or I might just wind the sim back, because landing this puppy at Key West at night, I don't know if I'm confident yet. But other than that, we're going to give it a shot. I think it's going to be fun tonight. We're sitting here on the ramp at Pensacola Aviation at the Av Fuel sign. We're chalked up. We got our covers on, and we're just admiring that sunset. So let's go ahead and pull the covers off and get everything prepped up, shall we? So let's pull the front cover, pitot cover, and engine covers. We'll head right back outside here, and then we'll do a quick little walk. Oh my gosh, look at that. Can I get a screenshot of that? Yes, please. Screenshot. This LEAR is just so awesome. I've been having a few little bugs as of late with the latest hot fixes. I think after the stream I'm probably going to do just a fresh install. But nothing's been groundbreaking. You can see some liveries have been updated though, and we've got our tip tanks back in the right color. So we're operating as 108 Juliet November, but we're actually going to operate as 7 Sierra Delta, because that's just in my brain. I can say that. But our fuel tank, our tip tanks look good. Our covers have been removed. Our chocks have been removed. Let's take a look in here and see the engine. Oh yeah, that's some juice right there. That is some juice. I'm surprised FT Sim doesn't have a sound pack yet. Oh, we need another screenshot right here. This is for the Insta right there for all those influencers out there. Let's get a screenshot. Beautiful. Coming back around. And I think we're ready to go. Let's hop into the flight deck. Let's go ahead and reset drone cam. Let's do our pre-flight cabin checks by getting our window shades up. Mike, I really like this plane too, man. It's awesome. You are retired EOD Bomb Tech. That's awesome, man. Well, thank you for your service. That's some hardcore stuff, my man. That's pretty cool. What do you do with all your screenshots? So they upload it? No, I don't upload them anywhere. They're most of the time I use them for additional thumbnails. You know, I take screenshots and then I'll use them as a thumbnail. But what a view! Oh my gosh, this has got Learjet all over it tonight. I am super excited for this. I am super excited. All right, what we will do is we'll connect the GPU. And let's go ahead and get our batteries online. So we'll go battery 1 and battery 2. We'll get our inverters online. I'm going to go ahead and dim the... actually, you know what? Let's kill the inverters for right now. I don't want to listen to them just yet. Oh, but that's going to be our lights. So we do. Let's go ahead and get our inverters on. We need it for our lights. We need to convert AC, DC. We'll turn those down. Turn these floodlights up. Make a juicy cockpit view here. We'll go battery to emergency battery is on. Make sure our power is idle cutoff. It is. Hydraulic pump. You could turn it on here. Verify the pressure. It's also going to suck the flaps up. Hydraulic pressure check. Flaps are in the 0 position. We'll kill the hydraulic pump. Rotary test is not modeled just yet, so we'll leave that off. Let's come over here. Let me hide this yoke. What we're going to do is we're going to turn on our nav light, though, and we'll set our cabin altitude. Now, I'm going to try to reach 45 tonight. We're going to try to reach 450. This was a day one purchase for me. Absolutely love it. Billy, it makes me happy to hear, man. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I think you said 1,000 above, so I'm going to set 46. We're going to take it up to 450. Cabin altitude about 9,000 feet. So you're going to be feeling it a little bit after this. All right, everything else looks good. We'll go ahead and clear that. We'll do Magic Barrel Ref Key. Let's come in here and start looking at some of our weight and balance. We're going to load it up. Well, we don't want to load it up too much. Who's going to Key West? We're going to take Julie. Well, where's our bottle girl? She's coming no matter what. So Cindy's always coming with the bottle. We'll take Jake from State Farm. And we'll take Dorothy. Oh, that gets rid of Julie. All right, so we'll take Dorothy and John. All right. We've got our very generic names on board. And let's take suitcase 5 and 6 just for a short weekend over down there at Key West. Now let's look at our fuel tank situation. Now this is where I've been encountering a little bit of a bug where I get the jettison fuel. Man, I really want to wind the sun back a little bit so we can take off at sunset. Should I do that? Let's do that. Come on. We'll still land at night depending on the participation, but let's wind it back there we go, like 35, like it's not even half, like 20 minutes, right? Because it was countdown time, 20 minutes back. I'm going to bring the tip tanks up to 50, fuselage tank down to 0, 1280, 1275 on the range. So that gives us a takeoff weight of 151. We're going to go ahead and that's going to be a little bit heavy. $995 on the range. There we go. That's what we want. So total weight right now is 142. Max land 140, right below max. We got almost double range. If we have to go to an alternate or try it again, we got a little bit more fuel than we need, but that's fine. Our tanks are set, so let's hope we don't have any fuel leak issues. With that set and done, we're going to go ahead and, I guess, close it up. Now, I'm curious, are the step lights... Where are the step lights? I guess they're right there. Step lights are right there. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to fire it up, and then we'll get the avionics on and do our flight plan. So we'll leave the avionics off for now. We're going to close the cabin door. Cabin door is closed, so let's go ahead and get rid of you for now. With the cabin door closed, we're going to come over here. We'll turn on the beacon light. Oh, it's right there. Beacon is on. With the beacon on and the brakes set, the aircraft is chalked, we'll go ahead and fire it up here. So let's go ahead and start number 2 first. Waiting for N1 rotation or 10% turbine. Fubar, good to see you. Good evening. Introduce fuel. There's our light off. We really just need to get some more sounds on this puppy. That's really what we're missing. Bummer, missed the O'Hare Atlanta. Wanted to make it as my 1-year member stream, but I'll enjoy this one. Merlin, well, we're glad to have you on this one no matter what, man. Welcome. All right, there's our rollback. There's our ignition light out. So we'll go off, and we'll go ahead and start up. I tell you what we'll do. Let's just roll on 1 for right now. And you don't disconnect the GPU. With the GPU disconnected, we'll go right generator on, and then we'll go avionics on, and we'll just do our flight planning now with engine 1 running, and then we'll start number 1 while we're simulating them disconnecting the GPU. Still have questions on the tip tank gravity feed? Fueled those thousands of times. Crimson goes, not right now. I think I'm getting my head wrapped around it. My only problem was I was having some fuel jettison that wasn't supposed to be jettisoning when I was, in flight. So I figured out how to fix it, but sometimes you have to just double check it. All right, we'll go ahead and continue. Our flight plan today consists of just a few waypoints. It's going to be...
TOS, system test okay.
Okay. it's going to be Pensacola, Heaven, St. Pete, and Key West. So we're going to go from Pensacola, VFR departure, no SID, direct to Heaven, Hotel Echo Victor, November, November. That's not right. HE. VVN. HEVVN, Southeast USA. Heaven. From Heaven, we're going direct to Pete, St. Pete, I believe. I don't like this. I have my sim brief dropped it in the wrong format. PIE, St. Petersburg, Florida, not Columbia, also southbound though, but want to make sure we have that correct. And then into Kilo Echo Yankee Whiskey, Key West. We can load a procedure. Let's load an RNAV in there. Let's load 9 or 27. I guess we'll load the GPS 9er just to have it loaded in there. All right, that looks good. We'll clear our message key. We'll go back. We'll go back to our map page. We'll zoom it out. Actually, we'll zoom it in. What runway we're going to be taking. Let's get a METAR, and then we're going to fire up number 1 and blast off. Going to have a nice St. Pete scenery coming soon. Ooh, Crimson Ghost. That would be nice. That's a scenery that is sorely missed. My landing lights were stuck on after I installed the latest hotfix on Wednesday. Anybody else had that? JB, I haven't had that particular one. Haven't had that one yet. Winds in Pensacola, though, right now, 240 at 13, 8 miles clear, 2960. So 240 at 13, Magic Barrel Rev Key. We'll take runway 26 then. So we'll go 26 via Charlie and Delta is what we'll do. So I'll keep it in so we can have a nice situational awareness. We'll go out Charlie, Delta to 26. Let's go ahead and start engine number 1. We'll leave the avionics master on, pretending it's a UNS-1. Cross generator start though, so everything looks good. Volts and amps, and number 1 to the start position. There's our N2 rotation, waiting for 10%. JB, yeah, I'm there. Fuel. There's our light off. I'm probably going to do a full reinstall after this stream as well, because I think when you plug in some hot fixes every now and then, like, you just need to just do a fresh install. So I've got the latest hot fix. I've got everything in that I can from the Discord. We'll see how it pans out. Small test sector I did earlier. Everything worked just fine. Altitude captured mode worked even better than before. All right, there's our ITT rolling back, waiting for the ignition light to extinguish. I probably should have shut the generator off for that, huh? All right, so we got 2 good starts. Let's go ahead and windshield heat for defog. I don't know if we need that right now. I don't think we do. We'll get our pitot heats. NAC heat's not required. Stab wing heat not required. We'll get our market beacon radio autopilot panel on. Coming across our panels here, we'll get our stall warnings on. Fasten seatbelt is on. Coming down our center pedestal, let's double check our fuel situation. All right, so everything looks closed. We're not jettisoning fuel. That's good. Let's check right tip tank, right wing tank. Fuselage is 0. Left wing, left tip. A little bit out of balance, but we're pretty much there. All right, we'll go ahead and power up the yaw dampers, and we'll set our trim in the pie. Right there. Boom. Aileron trims are normal. And while we're looking at it, let's go ahead and hit the steer lock. That looks good. And we'll set our comm radio actually up here. 122.8 it is on. Radio check 22.8. Well, that's going to be loud. All right, I think we're good. All right. Let's go ahead and set flaps 8.
Somebody radio check?
Yeah, I was just doing a radio check out of here. Let me check. Radio check 122.8.
5x5. Wait for me. I have to start up.
Roger that. All right, so it looks like that LEAR is coming with us. Let's go ahead and we'll kill our lights here. Make sure everything else is good. Let's double check our fuel. That looks good, so it bled off 96%. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I have my own checklist, so we'll get rid of that. Now let's run through my own checklist here. Inverters are on. Yep, we're good to go. So, wait for your son. I'm waiting for him. Alright, battery 1 and 2 is on, GPU not required, inverters, emergency battery, hydraulic, check cabin altitude is set, autopilot is primed on, radio altimeter. Oh, that's what we need to set. Hold on. We need to set our top altitude. We're going to try to go straight to 45. Let's see how this pans out for us here. Hold move cotton. Oh, don't mind me, this will just take 5 minutes. I do wish Flight Sim World would come up with better installer updater program. Crimson Ghost, I believe they are. I'm in their Discord. I see what they're saying, and they were trying their own installer out, and I think it had a issue with getting flagged from Defender, and then they fixed it. But you know, got to remember this is still early access. I think by the time it's finished, it's going to be just pristine, absolute juice. So I think it'll work out just fine. It's just early access right now. We'll set our runway heading. I think it was 26, right? That's what we're going to be departing off of, runway 260. So I'll set heading 260, and pressure altitude looks good. Everything looks good here. And oh, duh, cabin air. We need that. And let's turn the fan on. Let's put it about midway. It's actually, yeah, we don't need cool. We'll keep it on fan mode. Everything looks good here. Aux heat, that's not required. All right, that all looks good. All right, we ready? Is he started up yet? Yeah, I can see the heat blur from his engines. That's awesome. All right, Pensacola traffic's Learjet 7 Sierra Delta going to taxi runway 26 via Charlie and Delta, Pensacola. Yeah, I've been with FlySimware since early days. Mark is a monster dev. Crimson Ghost. Yeah, these guys are awesome. I'm gonna have to fire up their 414. I've had it sitting in my hangar for a while. I'm getting ready to do just a whole slew of light/GA airplanes because I'm loving it, man. I don't know. I think I'm just in a phase where I need to take a break from the airliner stuff, and I think that's what we're gonna have to do. All right, let's get our lights to taxi, and we're rolling. Quick flight control check. I'm going to split the right here so I don't have to run over our guy. And we'll make our way to the taxiway off the ramp here. H-way Comanche went. Single engine piston. Not that I have anything against single engine pistons, it's just single engine piston. Are we still doing Iveo? Yep, Mike Jones, we're on Iveo tonight. Looks like we got Team Vodka and a Lear behind us. Brake check, we're looking good. Once we get straight here, we'll do our thrust reverser test and checks. Everything all right back there? I'll wait for you at the runway.
I'm good, we're rolling.
All right, so we're nice and straight. So let's do our thrust reverser test. So test the lights. That looks good. We'll go ahead and arm both thrust reversers. Now what we do is we're going to pop the buckets. You can see them popping. And add a little bit of reverse. You can see the deploy lights. And we're dragging. So now we bring it back to idle, stow the thrust reverser, and now when you add power, that should theoretically go away, which it does. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and drag a bucket here again because we're starting to get a little bit fast. I'm going to stow that one. We'll drag the left bucket. Well, I won't. I don't think I can. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I got an idea. Let's make the turn here first. There we go. Look at that. We're going to drag the left bucket. Help keep us slow down here a little bit. That's a little bit more than idle reverse, but I don't know. That just looks awesome. There's something about dragging one reverser that's just so cool. I wish I could do that in the Airbus. It's kind of frowned upon to drag reverser. V1 is too bandit for Vatson to handle. I'm an outlaw. Bandit has too many negative connotations. I'm an outlaw. I've been outlawed from Vatson. Yeah, the A2A sounds. You know who else? I mean, the 414 from FlySimware has phenomenal sounds too, though. So, like, I know they've got the capability. And it's not that... I don't want to say that they're bad inside, because I've listened to a few Lear videos from the inside. Now I think it could definitely use improvement, and I think it will be improved upon. But what we really need is that outside. You need that exterior juice. Slam Cannon, dude, good to see you. Been a while. Says, what up, man? Hope all is good with the fam. Thinking about picking up this bird. Slam, you'll love it. I promise you, man. The sounds, if you can get past the sounds, and you know me, I'm a huge sound guy. I've gotten past the sounds because it's so much fun to fly. Get past the sounds right now, and understand that it's still early access. There's going to be some bugs and stuff. But for the most part, this is one of the best early access modules I've flown. And I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. The gringo delivers, but the network can't handle. Jeez. Of all people, Vatson is the outlaw. You can't make this up. V1 of all people on Vatson is out. Yeah. Hey, man. It is what it is. So they did not email your response? Oh, no, Scotty, I did get access. Oh, yeah, so I got access to the account finally. I was doing some Google stuff, and finally I figured out how to gain access to the account that I haven't opened in years, because it was linked to an old number that I didn't have anymore. But I found a way around it with the help of YouTube, or not YouTube, with Google account services or whatever. So I got back in. I read the original email. It just said that the original email from Vatson banned me because it said I had a duplicate account. I think that's what the original email said. I went and then I opened the ticket and started talking to them. They said it was because, for two reasons. It said my name was abbreviated, which I don't buy that reason at all, because that's allowed now to their nerd TOS. And then they said I was, somebody said it in the chat, ban evading, I think is what it is. So, yeah, ban evading. Because 4 or 5 years ago, I was kicked off the network because at that time, you had to log in with your full name before you could use CID. And I was kicked off the network. I'm assuming that's when I was banned. That would make sense, because then I made a new account after that. And that would make sense. Just, it's been almost 5 years. Yeah, whatever. Your trim doesn't work, Team Vanka? Is it on? Alright, let's do a quick flight control check. We already did that. Hydraulics, everything else looks good. Team Vodka says your trim won't work. You should have a separate binding for trim, Vodka. So you still have... Let me get it for you here. Hold on real quick. I was helping Team Vodka with his stuff before. So, Team Vodka, your trim binding is... Make sure you have it bound correctly. Let me go to my... Lear 35 yoke input, elevator trim up and trim down. So it should be the basic trim up, trim down. That's what you need. Let's go. All right. Lights are coming on. The cell heat's not required. Stab heat is not required. Here we go. Pensacola traffic. Lear 7 Sierra Delta going to be departing runway 26 Pensacola. No cams tonight. I have them set up for my Airbus still. Oh, this is gonna be a stunning departure. Look at the lights on this. I love the scenery. I forget who it is. We bought it a while ago for the Airbus streaming. But I love this little Pensacola scenery. This is very realistic. Flown in here numerous times. Taking a 321 in here too. Look at that Airbus lineup. Goodness. All right. We're in the Lear, not an Airbus. Let's go ahead and get back on the center line. All right. So we're going to be, let's do our proper flight directors. We'll get the Toga set. So our flight director is down, AFCS is powered, and we're on the altitude after takeoff, so we are looking good. Who's ready? Let's do it. Not really a yoga, but we're looking for 850 on the ITT, so spool them up. We'll hold the brakes. A bourbon line up and wait. Brakes released. Power set. Airspeed alive. Hang on to your butts. 100 knots. V1. Rotate.
Start check 116 well.
Positive. Great. Gear up. Oh, look at that. We need to get our yaw damps on. Ooh, a little bit chopped. A little bit bumpy. A little bit bumpy. Engage yaw damper. Flaps up. Lower that nose a little bit. Jeez, definitely a little bit choppy. Let's make a left turn out. I'm going to go ahead and scroll my heading bug to the left. I'm going to go ahead and turn heading on the altitude. And we'll engage the AFCS. We're in the turn. Accelerating to 250 knots. Pensacola traffic LEAR 7 Sierra Delta. It's out of 2.4 last call Pensacola. We're making a turn out to the southeast. Last call Pensacola. All right, approaching 250 knots now. Yeah, we don't have enough time for juice view. We'll go. Should I go speed hold? No, we won't do. Screw it. Let's do speed hold. This is how you get in trouble.
Let's go. Start check 116 departing 26 to the.
It's more juice. I have more juice if I do a speed hold. Gives me more time to look out the window instead of having to fly the airplane. Although I feel like we're pitching up rapidly. Hold on. Nope, we're holding 250 knots. We're in the left turn. ITT's come back down, what was it, 830? Max continuous? I forget. I'm going to reset that. Let's come down here to our flight plan. Get rid of the message. Yeah. Flight plan. Direct. Activate. And we'll arm. Nav mode is armed. It's going to come a little bit to the right. 4,000 feet a minute out of 8.4 already. Oh my, another screenshot. I mean, this airplane, like, you don't have time to sit around and look out the window. We're already through 10,000 feet. I'm going to disengage the speed hold. I'll use my pitch reference now to lower the nose. We'll accelerate to about 275 knots. And we'll also get the lights off. Oh, we never turned on the ignitions. Rip. We always forget to do that for some reason. Lights off. And recog's coming off as well. We'll lower the nose a little bit more. Pitch reference coming down. 830 on the ITT. Sync the fuel flow. So we've got a little bit of a split normal. Our fuel flows are synced though. Let's keep lowering that pitch ref. Let's accelerate. Kind of want to top these clouds though. Be good corporate pilots here. That is just, we got to top. This actually looks like the thumbnail. So I'm using a little bit of AI to generate the thumbnails, but this actually looks very similar to the thumbnail. That's pretty sweet. All right, almost at 275. I'm trying to keep my climb rate up more so we'll keep it as is. Out of 10, let's go ahead and do some checks though. After takeoff, gears up, flaps up, yaw dampers engaged, ignition's off, they never were on. Thrust reverser, let's disarm those. That's just got to be part of my after takeoff flow. I keep forgetting to do that. Landing taxi lights off, signs as required, pressurization, we'll double check it. That'll leave us at the descent check. There's about 275. We'll increase the pitch ref a tad. We'll bump up the power a tad. Let's run it hot tonight. We're gonna run it rental car mode, as Shaq Oatmeal likes to say. I'm gonna fly this LEAR in rental car mode. All right, a little more juice on the engines. Verify our pressurization. We are still climbing. That is good. All right, I can't increase the rate knob, so. All right, pretty much maxed out with the rate, I guess. Let's get a little bit more pitch reference coming up. Still doing 4,000 feet a minute at 275 knots. How you doing? We're out climbing the sunset. Lear and chill seems more like Lear and frantically try not to die. That's an accurate statement. Oh yeah, I never uncaged the standby. Look, it was rusty. I was rusty last minute stream, right? Gustavo? FAA Gustavo? Alright, there's 18K. We'll do Magic Barrel Ref. 29902 is set. We're on speed. Engines look good. Fuel flows look good. Now, I'll show y'all something. So right now, we don't appear to be jettisoning fuel. There was a moment. Oh my goodness. What a screenshot that is. In my test sector earlier, I was jettisoning fuel when I got to cruise. And then you'll see it come out the wing tanks. The way I fix that is you go down to the jettison fuel on your console here, and you open them and then reclose them, and they stopped jettisoning the fuel. So, I mean, this is a hell of a view. Good thing this isn't Lear check ride prep stream. Oh no, we are we're way far away from that T6. We're still very much in the learning phases, the try not to die phase. I just can't get enough of that view. That's just sweet. JB, I didn't check to see if it was actually reducing the fuel. I think it might have just been a visual bug. Because I was able to fix it pretty quick when I toggled those switches. I didn't think to look to see if it was actually draining fuel tank fuel. I don't think it was. I think it was just a visual bug. My next waypoint, Team Vodka, is going to be... Oh, I didn't do your flight plan, because yours was 2 inland. After Heaven, it's St. Pete and then Key West. So we're going coastal route. I might go direct St. Pete here in a minute. But we're getting a little bit slow. Let's pitch ref down a tad, and we're finally starting to bleed off that speed. Well, our indicated is dropping, but we're still doing 5.8. We'll accelerate. Do a mock transition here, about 25,000 feet. Pitch ref come down a little bit. Maybe we'll hover it out around 2,000 feet a minute or 1,500 feet a minute here. Let's lower that pitch ref. Let's see where that stables out at. There we go, 1,500 feet per minute. That should be all right. We're 140 miles from the Heaven waypoint. These 2-a-days make it tough to keep current. Tom, good to see you, man. Team Vodka, I am present position direct Heaven right now. And then after Heaven, it's St. Pete and then direct. So 2 waypoints, Heaven, PIE, Key West. Have you ever had to don the oxygen due to high flight levels? I remember the 76. Yes, so there used to be the FAA used to say that when a pilot left the flight deck above, I don't even remember, it's just so many years ago now. Well, basically, in the airline world, if somebody went to use the bathroom, you had to put the mask on above, I don't remember, 30, I think it was like 30,000 feet. And then above 40, you had to have it on all the time? I don't remember, but the FAA changed that. Now, as far as in a corporate jet, no, I never. I put it on one time when we went to 45,000 feet. But for the majority of our Part 91 flights, no, I never put the mask on. Most of the citations I flew were much lower than that. We couldn't get to 45. I think like 40, well, the RVSM was 42, 43, somewhere in there, maybe. But, yeah, the oxygen mask regs changed a couple times. Oh yeah, never turned the transponder on? What? No, it's on. 2,000 altitude. 2,000 altitude. We're squawking. 2,000 altitude. We're fancy GTN 750 mode. Oh, that is sweet. The way the beacon rotates off the tip tank. So we can't really cut across. In real life, you wouldn't be able to cut across direct St. Pete because Wingnuts out there doing military stuff. So this is a big military spot, military section of airspace right off the coastline here. And it's frustrating because you could save several minutes if you cut across the Gulf. But if the MOAs are hot, you can't do it. It is still required if you don't have a quick donning mask. Now with it, you don't need it. I guess you still need above 45. Yeah, that's right. So if you, all the jets I've flown have quick donning masks, but I've been very lucky. They don't all have to. But yeah, we all have quick donning masks. Without a quick donning mask, you have to wear it all the time. It's a bombing range right there, Bomb Tech. That's pretty sweet. I guess that makes sense why they don't let us fly across it when it's hot. When is going to be the next Brazilian flight for me and Gustavo? Pedro, look, I'm waiting for, there was somebody making the Ameriflight cargo livery for the Lear 35, which they had Lear 35s. And that's, my freight operator, had a lot of good memories there. So when that livery drops, I plan to take this puppy. We're going to do a Lear South America tour. All right, it's just going to be straight up Learjet only in South America. We're going to take it. We'll go down through Mexico first because I really want to go into Mexico City. I want to go to Cancun because I saw one time I was in Cancun, taxiing into the ramp, come off that bridge, and there was a Lear 35 that had one of the sweetest paint jobs. It was like black and silver, but the silver was a reflective silver, almost like a, almost like a chrome, I guess. But I don't know whose it was. I don't remember what the tail number was, but it used to be parked there on the corporate ramp or the GA ramp. So I want to fly into Cancun with the Lear, then we'll go down through the, kind of like we did before, but we'll do a full-blown South America tour just in the Learjet. That's how much fun I'm having with this bird. Kyle Lewis patiently waiting. Yeah, same here, my man, same here. Now, with that said, yeah, I really want that Amerifly livery. But there are some phenomenal liveries out there. Like, this one looks sweet. This one looks really sweet, too. There's some really nice Learjet liveries. Now, what would be cool, I wonder if there's any livery painters in the chat, or maybe if you are, you see this on replay, hit me up in a DM. Would it be possible to recreate my Citation's paint job on this? Like, so the 7 Sierra Delta, the Citation that I flew the most, it had 2 paint jobs. We had an older paint job, which is pretty simple, and then the newest paint job, well, I say new before, or I don't know if it's still painted this way, but it used to have like an all gray tail, and I got pictures of it. It'd be cool to recreate that paint job on the Lear, the same one that I flew. I don't know if that's how hard that would be because it's a different airframe, but Retro Fly Diffie, thank you for the $5 super chat, man. Good to see you back on VATSIM, Cap. I think they missed you. Haha, we're not on VATSIM. Thank you for the VOR tutorial on the Fokker. Did some Italian Aviano hops. Hey, Retro Fly. Well, we're not on the VATSIM. We're still banned. The ban is still in full force. We are on Iveo. Been on Iveo the last couple streams, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm actually enjoying it. A little bit of traffic. We've had some controllers come on. The controllers have been nothing but absolutely awesome. They've been super nice, and not that VATSIM controllers aren't super nice, to be completely honest. The VATSIM controllers are nice too. But I just didn't know what to expect on Iveo. I had no idea. So I didn't know if it was going to be just a noob network or bad. Like, I don't know what to expect. But it's been great. We've had ATC a couple flights. We actually had ATC coming into Atlanta today on our Airbus stream, which was a lot of fun. But yeah, I like the radio click better. Small detail, but like the transmission click. Just a little, I like that. So far, so good though. All right, we should actually monitor our instruments though, see what we're doing here. All right, we're doing 7.5 on the Mach. We're doing 8.15 on the temp, so we're below our max. I guess we can juice it up a little bit. There's actually above 40 checklists we have to accomplish. I might pull out the iPad for that. Let's go ahead and bump this up to rental car mode. 830 turbine temp. Looks like number 2 will sit behind at about 800, which is fine. Our fuel flows are matched. Fan speeds are looking good. Let's pull out the iPad, though, and double check our above 40... What is it? Above 40 checklist, I think it's called. 10,000, 350, air conditioner off. Okay, so air conditioner. Is this the air conditioner? Off. Air conditioner is off. Above 35. 410 checks. So 35 through 35, 1 accept 35, 1 oxygen mask dawn. Oh, so what is this, like different altitudes? I'm not sure what that's referencing. It's kind of cut off. But crew and passenger, oxygen mask dawn. Well, part 91. Smoke them if you got them. All right, out of 38,000, we're on our way. We are armed. We're trying to watch a sunset, but we're out climbing the sunset. But Retrofly Diffie, if I didn't say it, thank you for the $5 super chat. Glad you're enjoying the Fokker ops, man. I love the Fokker. I know we haven't flown it recently, but it's a hell of an airplane. What did you get banned for, Steve? Long story short, I guess it would be fair to say now that I've been banned by deductive reasoning for, what did I say? What's the phrase? Ban avoiding. Because 4 or 5 years ago, I made a new account, and I'm assuming that previous account was banned. But I made a new account because I was going to be on YouTube live, like live streaming, public, and all that. So, made a new account, and they said that's the reason why. So, and they also said because my name was abbreviated, but I don't buy that one. I think it's the ban on top of a ban. I think ban evading. Is that what y'all called it? Ban evasion. Ban evasion. Yeah. But if I'm being completely honest, I mean, you heard it here first, or like there was no ban evasion by any intention of the rule to manipulate. I was actually on a live stream, I think, when it happened. We were in San Francisco. I was talking to Team Vodka about this. We were in San Francisco, and the controller came on and said my name didn't match my account, which it didn't, because this was before the terms of service were changed where you could log in with CID. So the controller kicked me off the network, and I just flew that stream without VATSIM. I was like, at the end of that stream, I was like, you know what? Probably wise, since I'm going to be streaming, on a YouTube business now, that I make a different account. Anyway, so I ran a new account. Been going for 4 years plus. Never had an issue. Submitted a compliment to a controller on January 1st or whatever. Yeah, January 1st I submitted a compliment report to the Aruba controller. January 2nd at 5 a.m. I was banned. At 2 a.m. So that is, through my deductive reasoning, that's why. But yeah, I mean, and by letter of the law, that is, if that is what they call ban evasion, then they have every right to keep me banned, I guess. It's just unfortunate. I can think of a whole lot of different reasons people should be banned on the network that they never seem to get banned on. But. All right, we're 42.2. All right, this is pretty cool. We're above 42,000 feet. I think this is the highest we've ever been in Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is the highest I've ever been on Microsoft Flight Sim, so we are still out climbing the sunset. Oh, we also need to be half bank. Half bank is on. That should have been on above like 35, I think, or maybe even above 30. I have to look in the manual. All right, so monitoring our speed here, we're looking at our Mach. So our Mach is creeping down. Remember, as you increase in altitude, your indicated airspeed is going to drop off, but your Mach is when you transition into Mach number, what you want to look at. So the outer ring here, I'm no longer looking at these knots. We're looking at the outer ring. Looks like our red line is what, is that 8.2 Mach? So right now we're about, if this is 7.0, we're probably about 7.6 Mach, doing 1,000 feet a minute at 43,000 feet. That is just insane. I love it. Absolutely freaking love it. Looks like the sun is finally setting. Did they say why it's a permaban? What caused the ban? No, I have no idea. No idea why. Yeah, and that's the only other reason. If it's not from something 5 years ago, I doubt it, but maybe someone tried to create an account with my stuff recently. That's why they said duplicate accounts, because I've never tried to create a duplicate account. So Any tips of a regional airline interview? Sahal, that's awesome. My tips would be to find the interview gouge. So I don't know where you're interviewing. We were 1,000 feet per minute to 45,000 feet. How awesome is that? All right, let's be Johnny on the spot with the power here. We got to get ready to bring the power back. Find a gouge. So we call them gouges in the U.S. I don't know where you're interviewing, but basically what a gouge is a debrief of someone who has done that exact interview. So when I interviewed at my first regional, I looked for gouges, and then I also wrote a gouge after my interview. So that would be my tip. Find one first, so you kind of get an idea what's coming. And then my only other tip would be confident in your answers and be personable. You know, most of the time, those type of interviews, airline interviews, a big part of it is the interviewee or the interviewer is looking, especially the pilots, they're looking for someone they'd want to be on an overnight with. If they can kind of judge you and be like, yeah, I won't go on an overnight with this guy or gal, you're pretty much good to go, unless you mess something up in the technical. Okay, that was an aggressive level off, I think. Nope, we're all right. We're leveling off. We're going to have to bring the power back, though, so we don't overspeed. We're going to be riding a fine line up here. All right, I'm going to start walking some power back. Viper, this is, in my opinion, this airplane is definitely worth it. Couple caveats. You got to remember this is early access, so there are bugs to be had. I haven't had any game-breaking bugs, though. So, like, I've had some funny things. I talked about the fuel dump. There was an issue with the TDS GPS, but they've put out hot fixes. As you can see here, it's working just fine. But what got me is the speed and slickness of a Learjet and being completely analog. I just had to have it. And once I picked it up and did my first flight, I'm going to reset this view here to be more of a... once I had my first flight in it, I fell in love with the way the airplane flies. Because it's just so different. It keeps you busy. It's punishing, but it's just as rewarding as it is punishing. All right, we're at 45,000 feet, chat. It's sweet. 45,000 feet. We're about to make the turn here. I'm going to stay in the cockpit for this turn, at least till it gets started. We want to make sure we don't roll out and stall. Yes, you can use the working title 530. I probably should have done a 530 flight. This is very strange for me because if you've been around the channel, you know I'm not anti-GTN 750, but in my round gauge airplanes, I like limited glass. But for some reason, the 750 in this bird just seems to fit right. Like I've flown it with the 530. I enjoy it with the 530. But for some reason, I like having the 750 in there. Maybe because everything else is so demanding, it's nice to have a little easy mode with the 750. Does Microsoft Flight Sim simulate mock tuck? That's a good question. I do not know. I do not plan on finding out, my friend. Less punishing than the Mad Dog? More punishing than the Mad Dog. The Mad Dog, if you know where everything is, like finding where all the switches are in the Mad Dog is half the battle, right? This airplane is very simple. You've got a row. You start your flow from here, go across. Once you've gone across, go down the pedestal, and you've just basically gone through the entire cockpit, right? Every switch you're going to manipulate, I just looked at. Whereas the Mad Dog, there's a lot more to figure out in that aspect. I definitely think this airplane is more punishing in the hand-flying characteristics. So you get slow on approach, or you get slow when you're maneuvering, and she'll slip out from under you and punish you. It's not hard to maintain a stable approach, but it's very slippery. You're pitching power, you're moving the yoke, it's very fluid. All right, I'm gonna get a little bit more power here. I want to get up closer to that red line. We don't need to slow down. Let's get a little bit more juice in there. Let's set an N1 of let's try 89 or 90. 85.9. What's that going to be? 90. I wanted to set an N1 reminder. All right, let's do 91. Can I light this up here? Guess not. So N1 of 91. We're 86.5. We'll go ahead and do a turbine sync. Man, we got a hell of a crab angle. There must be some wind up here. All right, now we're cruising down the coast of Florida. Do you think there's any scope for discussing the ban with a supervisor? Maybe an apology and a one-to-one could be an avenue. Aaron, so when I originally opened a ticket with VATSIM, because I couldn't, up until, what was it, today, I couldn't figure out how to get into my old email. But I got into it anyway. But I submitted a ticket. I said, here's my CID number, this is my login credentials, and I'm just emailing you from my different email because I don't remember what email I had on the VATSIM email. And so they opened up, they got back to me, and they said they need proof of ID now, and I'm just not going to submit proof of ID. I just think that's asinine. So I almost did. I had it ready to go. I had all my stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute. You want me to send you government issue ID to let me log in to play a fake video game? And I'm like, you like ban me for my offense of 4 years ago, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Something didn't sit right with me. I just felt like, I don't know if I want to do that. Because I don't know. Something just doesn't sit right. Maybe they need to enact some policy change. I mean, they obviously changed the full login name with allowing it to do CID login. But, you know what? You make enemies doing this. I'll be honest with you, too. Like, I feel like I've said that a lot. But when you're a public figure on YouTube, you'll make enemies. Like, I got people, not so much anymore. It's pretty much calmed down. But for a long time, people would send me hate mail, say, oh, I'm going to find out, where you work and get you fired, or I'm going to come to your house and beat your ass. I had a guy, no lie, say he was going to drive down from Oklahoma and beat me up. I was like, for what? Because I banned you off my page because you're spamming racial slurs in the comment section? Like, really? So, who knows? And I'm kind of, I don't know. There's a little spidey sense that tells me that I think somebody at VATSIM is pissed off at me. So, why would I give anybody an ID that, I don't know. It just doesn't. Listen, if you put your real information on the internet for stuff that's not required, that's not like actual government stuff, then you're just asking for trouble. Let's be honest. Like, good internet practices, you should never put personal information on the internet. So I was like, hold on a second. I don't know if I buy all this. It just seemed a little bit like that's where I was at. I was like, I could submit some documents, and then I'm like, but wait a minute. What if there's something going on a little bit deeper? So I'm like, F it. I'll go on Iveo. Like, I don't need VATSIM. I do it for y'all. The engine sync doesn't work. Team Vodka, you got to use turbine sync. It's the one to the right. You got to sync your turbine. Fan sync is not modeled, but turbine sync is modeled, as good as it'll be in a LEAR 35. So the one in the citation worked half the time. Use the turbine sync. But I think you got to match it within 1% anyway. But just make sure, Vodka, the biggest thing, make sure your fuel flows are matching. Make sure your fuel flows match and set your power accordingly. I wonder if, should we wind it back a little bit, or should we just keep rocking at night here? XP72 in the house. XP, aren't you doing a long haul today? Or did you postpone it? I thought you were going to London Heathrow. Or no, you're going somewhere in the Latin VFR. Good to see you, XP. I'm going to find you and demand a free GA lesson. XP, hey, dude. Honestly, come on up, man. I will take you up. Let's go flying. We'll split the cost of an airplane, and we'll go around the pattern. Now, I never flew GA in Georgia, so we're going to have to hang on together, but we'll make it work. It'll be fine. It'll be fine, man. I'd love to go up with you, dude. XP in the house. 46 months? How many? 12, 24, 36? 48 months is 4 years. Is it not? Wait, 12, 24. Yeah. 48 months will be 4 years as a member. He's at 46 months. Jeez, XP. Appreciate the support, my man. Sacrilege, long haul, and a narrow body. Man. So, XP, I gotta ask you this. Have you ever flown that Latin VFR that long? Like, how confident are you that when you wake up, I assume you're gonna go to sleep, that bird is still gonna be flying? I don't know. I'm not familiar with the Horizon mod. Is that the one that makes it like the fly-by-wire? Get a little bit more power in here. I need pitch and power tables. Oh, I tell you what we can do. Let's turn those cabin lights on. Let's go back here. Cabin dim. Tables out. Well, I guess you got to turn the lights on to put them in dim mode. All right, let's. Hey, XP, I got a seat for you right here. Oh, XP's already on the airplane. Hey, XP's right here. We're XP POV right here. He's chilling back here. He's got the hand of God. XP's chilling. It's a scientific test with the Latin VFR plane. That's awesome, man. All right, everyone's popping bottles. We'll open up the window shades here. There you go. I mean, XP, like, that could be you, dude. I think XP's already on board. This dude up here, this is Team Vodka because he's got the glasses on still because he's been taking some medicinal things. No, I'm online, Team Vodka. I should be online. Let me double check. Yeah, we're squawking 2000. I'm online, 122.8. Oh, my flight plan never filed, Team Vodka. Maybe that's why. Hold on. I just noticed something. Give me a second. All right, got to stop typing and driving. Headed home from work. XP, hey, man, be safe. Enjoy that long haul, my man. I don't know if I'll be there for the landing, but I'll probably be there for the takeoff because I think... Yeah, if you're taking off at 10 tonight, then I should be able to catch it if I'm still awake. I might turn it on and pass out with the ambiance. Oh, I did see your manual thrust approach is into DCA. Pretty sweet, man. You got a pretty good handle on that Airbus. You got a good handle on the Airbus, my man. All right, Team Vodka, let me refile. I don't think... Let's see. Invalid DOF. What's DOF? My flight plans. Upcoming. Archived. Yeah, I never... That's why, Vodka. Hold on. Who y'all got? Browns, Texans? Well, I'm pulling for the Texans, but I don't know. Uh-oh. Who remembers that sound from like FS98? power back. Oh, data flight. Matt, yeah, we're at 45 and we are overspeeding. Nothing to see here, Matt. I need pitch and power tables. We are right at it. What's our direct 468 over the ground? I'll take it. I'll take it. Where is the DOF? In remarks? I don't understand. Data flight. Departure time. Add to remarks. Why do you have to add that to remarks? I've never had to do that before. DOF 240113. Alright. So I've submitted it. So now... Hold on, if I reconnect... There we go. Now I should be on WebEye. Team Vodka should load in. Give me a second. I'm back online with the flight plan. Yep. Thanks, bud. All right. Let's see. How we doing? Should we... I'll tell you what. Let's wind it back a little bit. So we'll still land at night, but it's pitch black. It's pitch black, y'all. Let's bring it back a little bit. So we can at least see. Let's do like 607. Just so we get a little bit of light. We'll land at Key West at night. I'm down for the challenge. But let's not fly in pitch black the whole way there. Alright. We'll chill here for a minute. Quinn Evers come back to Texas. Will he start over Arch Manning? I don't know, Bomb Tech. That's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting for sure. I don't know. I think Quinn. I think if Quinn can ball out, I think he'll start. It's going to be the Browns for that sweet Browns Ravens. Okay, Steven. Yeah. So we were talking about this briefly on the last stream. Like the games this Super Wildcard weekend are pretty sweet. Like you've got some great storylines, and I agree with you. I think the best storyline of all, Joe Flacco back in Baltimore. That's a possibility. You could possibly have the Browns with Flacco back in Baltimore for a divisional round? For the divisional round. Could you imagine that? Wow. Wingnet says, I fail pan coming for no flight plan. Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, that's the first time that's happened to me. I think it didn't copy it over. All right, we need to find out a pitch and power setting because we're kind of oscillating here. Let's try 88. Joe Flacco was starting at 132 years old. I mean, you could pretty much see the curvature of the Earth, 45,000 feet. Curvature of the sim. That's a cool shot. Footsteps Flacco. Find someone who looks like you, who looks at you like V1 looks at football. Aaron, yeah. I just like, I like the dramas with the storyline, but I'm still mad. Steven, do you have Peacock? Are you going to be watching the game on Peacock tomorrow night? So I already told the wife, and she already got a sitter. I called her after the last stream. So I'm trying to boycott the Peacock's wildcard game. So I'm not gonna watch Chiefs Dolphins. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I'm not gonna watch it because we're gonna go out. There is no curvature of the Earth. It is flat land stationary. It is a little flat. If I had $1 for every time a passenger asked me if the Earth was flat, I'd probably have at least $4. I'd have at least $4. I had one guy ask me in Boston. I'll never forget. He's getting off the airplane, and he's like, he comes up kind of like frantically. He's like, "Hey, Cap, I gotta talk to you. Great flight. Be honest with me, okay? Be honest. The Earth is flat, right? Like, you can tell it's flat." And I wanted to just kind of like bust out laughing, but I realized he was being dead ass serious. Like, he was being straight serious. The FO just like shook his head. He like excused himself. He's like, excuse me a second, I gotta get that one. He went up to the top. But I explained to him that no, we can definitely see the curvature of the Earth. And I promise him that it's round. I said I don't know how round it actually is, but I promise you it's not flat. And he looked, the only way I can describe it is he looked like an 8-year-old or 7-year-old would look like when you find out about characters that visit around the 25th of December. And I was like, man, I felt bad. Like, that's how bad it was. Is after I had talked to him, I literally felt bad. Must have that Texas education. Yeah, he probably went to school at North Texas. Ay. How can you trust someone who does contrails? I did have one guy say, "I know you're poisoning us." Or what did he say? He's like, he walked off the airplane. I want to say we were in New Orleans. And I want to say I was at the regionals. I want to say it's a long time ago. He goes, he's getting off the airplane, and I was the first officer, and I'm standing outside of the airplane, like where the door is on the jetway. I'm trying to get back on because I just did like a post-flight, and there's still a few people coming off the airplane. So I'm standing there at the base of the jet bridge, not really paying attention, but I hear this guy say something along the lines of, "I saw you. I know you were spraying us. I know you spray us." And he was yelling at the captain through the through the little breezeway to the cockpit. And I'm just like, what? Is this a joke? And he like gets off all flustered. And then as he's going up the jetway, he's talking to his buddy. He's like, "They're doing it, man. I know it. It's chemicals." I was like, oh my gosh. "4,500 feet, everyone's dead." Nah, man, we're Nick's Aviation. We're pressurized. I think we got one hell of a cabin diff, but yeah, we're at 9,000 feet, man. We're not even at 9,000. We're at like 80, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're at 8,800 feet cabin altitude. It's definitely getting thin up here, but we're all breathing. We might all start believing that the Earth is flat if we stay up here too much longer, but we're all alive right now, so we got that going for us. All right, here's a hot take. Tell me if you agree with me. Flying over Florida at night is cooler than flying over Florida in the daytime. For some reason, when you fly over Florida at night in the sim, it just looks off. I don't know, it just looks more cool, like the way the lights are. Anyone ever thought that? Like this light where you can just see the coastline. I don't know. Spoiler alert. AJ, have you studied flat Earth? Of course, when I did drums. Only an idiot thinks the Earth is flat. The only ones truly tuned into the truth know that the Earth is actually a pyramid. Oh, God. The Earth is a rhombus. Firefly, good to see you, man. I don't think airline pilots do contrails, but there are other planes without people on them that do. So, I'm not going to get into Well, I don't know. So, BombTech, I will tell you what I know to be true, and I've seen this on the plains of Texas, farmers cloud seeding. So, the theory behind chemtrails, it's not truly like all false, because there is something called cloud seeding. Look it up on Google, read about it a little bit, and it's to like you create particulates so water molecules can accumulate so you can create clouds and moisture. You're basically trying to play God and make it rain, essentially, is what's happening. So there is some scientific proof to that, cloud seeding. Now, as far as airline crews, turning on switches and deploying chemicals into the air, no. But if we're getting the Reynolds tin foil out, remember you got to get the premium brand of tin foil. If I put my tin foil hat on, I will tell you this: that if somebody told me today that like I knew was telling the truth, and they said, yeah, the government does spray the atmosphere with drones, I would not be surprised. I'll just say that. I would not be surprised. But do I believe that there's airliners chemtrailing? No. I mean, you could argue that the fuel that we're releasing into the atmosphere is chemtrailing in of itself. I'm sure it's not good for the ozone. But I would not be surprised. Man, this is real 45. This is flight level 450 talk right here. I can't believe, I apologize for all the 240 viewers that are joining in for our Reynolds Wrap conversation tonight. Have you seen flying saucer before, V1? BombTech, I've talked about it a couple times. I've seen a couple of strange things. I talked about it once. I think I did a podcast on it about the UFO. And now that you're a member, BombTech, look up my V1 After Dark and look at the UFO story. I went in depth about something I saw over the Gulf of Mexico that to this day, I still can't explain. And I know it wasn't a rocket. I know it wasn't Elon Musk thing. I've seen those. I saw one the other day. It's something that I've had a very hard time explaining. Now, what's kind of interesting is last month or the month before when I did a long LA trip, I think I told y'all because I was going to try my fancy new noise-canceling headset out. I don't know. I could have just seen a reflection. It could have been a floater in my eye. You ever have a floater where like you're looking at something that's all the same color and then you see something like float across your eye, right? I guess as you get older that becomes more common. I saw to what I think I saw, and I'm not going to stand definitively and say I saw a UFO, but the talks of those pilots seeing a cube in a sphere climbing out of LAX, going eastbound back to Atlanta. I think we were at like mid-20s. I swear I thought I saw something like that was reflective zip right under my windshield to the left, like kind of from like right here, and like kind of went like this, and there was nothing on TCAS. I don't know if it was a reflection, like, maybe if the FO has a watch on and he moved his watch and like did a little shooty here. I don't know, but I was like that. It was enough to where I thought about it for a good while, and I was like, "You see anything?" He's like, "No, I didn't see anything." I'm like, "All right, maybe it's just me." But I don't know. I don't know about that one. The one I saw over the Gulf, I know for a fact I saw with my own two eyes. The captain saw it. The other crew saw it. Like, everybody saw it. Hey, Jay, thanks for the $3 super chat, man. Hypoxia talk with V1. Instead of the V1 After Dark, it's V1 Hypoxic. That'll be for the commercial members. Thanks for the super chat, AJ. Gustavo says the chemtrail is based on reality, but is all based on bad science. As you said, exhaust plumes are not good for the environment. Yeah, true. I agree. We all going a bit loopy. What tinfoil brand do you use? I said Reynolds Wrap, man. Reynolds Wrap. Have you had any colleagues say anything, affirmation about contrails? No. LA flights caught a UFO on camera a few days ago in LA. Right. So I saw that as well, and it made me think maybe there was something to what I saw, you know? Maybe there was something that I saw with that. Wingnut, wait. Wingnut says I almost hit one going into SNA. Wingnut in a commercial jet or in the fighter? So Wingnut, for all who don't know, Navy fighter pilot, he says he saw a cube in a clear balloon. I swear that's what I thought I saw, but I can't. It happened so fast. I don't want to sit here and say, yeah, I swear I saw it, because it could have been nothing. But it was strange enough to where I was like, I zoomed in my TCAS real quick, made sure there was nothing on TCAS, talked to the FO. FO said didn't see anything, so I'm like, okay, maybe it was my eyes playing tricks on me. I didn't have a good enough view to confirm what I thought I saw. You were in the Adoptibus? Man. That secret space program stuff is deep rabbit hole to go down. I don't think they're aliens, though. It just suppressed technology. Oh, Jesus. Here we go. Look up David Fravor, Navy pilot. I have Tic Tac incident backed up by radio. I've Fireflyer. I know exactly what you're talking about, my man. It's interesting. So I think that Tic Tac stuff, here's my, then we're going to start down because I can't handle this conversation anymore. We're gonna descend out of 45,000 feet after this. But as far as, here's my thought on Tic Tac stuff, maybe even stuff in the clear balloon, like Fly Navy's talking about. I personally think it's technology that is of this planet, but it's never been released, and I think it has something to do with free energy. So if you've heard of the generator that has no moving parts and it can basically create, it works on like what, hertz or like sound waves or something like that. We're going way deep in the hole here. But if you think about it, you think about how you look at the pyramids, right? Those pyramids were built in they had to have technology. We could barely do it today. So everyone thinks that, in the ancient Egyptian times, that they were less advanced than us. Maybe they were just advanced on a different, what is the word I'm looking for? A different realm of something. Not what we know in proven science, like a different something. I can't think of the name. But basically, like a different type of physics. And what I've been told or read or watched on YouTube, so it's obviously true, is that when you use this like quantum physics and all this stuff, or maybe it's not, is it quantum physics? Not based on quantum physics? You basically control gravity inside of that unit. So it would allow, everything would maintain 1G, even though you're moving at speeds above speeds that would create G-forces that you would not be able to sustain as a human. So is it unmanned? Probably. But does it mean that it's withstanding the same G-forces that we're used to? No, not necessarily, because it can maintain 1G inside that bubble. I don't know. Pyramids are the most simple way to build stuff high, and all the technology is known. Sorry, well, Gustavo, the problem with that is those blocks are proven to come from hundreds of miles away, and they're interlinked. They're not just stacked on top of each other. Those blocks are all interconnected like puzzle pieces perfectly. So, and everything has a frequency. Norsty, I don't know what we're listening to. Let's get at this descent. Shit. We're done. We're done. We're going to set flight level 240 for now. We're about 100. We need to start down anyway. So we're going to set 240. I don't have enough tinfoil. I'm out of tinfoil. 24 is set. We're going to go ahead and do arm. Then we're going to off arm. And we're going to set this so you start coming down. Like so. We'll start doing that, and we're going to pitch ref it over here. Down we go. The government is listening to the stream. Your physical assessment is going to bear some interesting results. Ailerons in the wind. What's up, man? Good to see you. Listen, it wouldn't be a Lear stream at 45,000 feet if we didn't get a little funny up here, right? Guy Random, cheers to you. Thank you for becoming a private pilot in the midst of this conversation. Everybody on the stream is ending on a list. CIA has entered the chat. All right, we're 1,000 feet per minute on the barrow, or not the barrow, on the little knob thing on the yoke. Let's go ahead and let's attempt a flight into Key West. What's Key West weather? Anybody got a METAR? Let me text the METAR service. Bombtech, I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. Glad you enjoyed it. We'll have to, we're going to have to make some type of emoji, like somebody said, for 45,000 feet. Like maybe just be a tinfoil hat and like 450 across it. We're going to save these conversations only for flight level 430 and above. For legal reasons, I was not here. Same here. This is, I was not here. This stream is a figment of your imagination. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I'm looking up the weather in Key West. Alright, so if I look up the METAR in KE... Nope, that's the wrong airport. Key West is variable at 5. Alright, cool. Someone check to see if the CO alarm... Can you don the masks? Oh, they're right here, right? I can't don them. What's this? Oh no, we can't don the O2 mask, but... That's right, we're coming down. We're coming down. We're going to increase this rate of descent here a little bit. Here we go. And let's look at some charts. So, let's zoom on in here. Let's go direct to Atna. Actually, do we have the waypoint? Do we have Sting? So let me go menu. Nope, back. Flight plan. We do have Atna. So let's go here. Direct to activate. We're going direct to Atna in the turn. We still got our half bank on. And we're descending to flight level 240. Let's pick up our rate of descent. Let's make it 2,000 feet a minute now. Descent check, cabin altitude, field elevation, anti-ice as required, transition level set, barrel cross check, that's at 18. We also need to get the fogger on. So one thing I learned, and Matt brought it up, said the Lear is known for fogging up on the descent. And I watched a video of a Lear landing, I think in South America somewhere. I want to say it was Brazil. And their window was all fogged up. Or like it was clear out front, but it was all like a bunch of condensation and everything over here on the side. So they had the fan running. So we got our defoggers on. We're on the descent. We're going direct to Atna for 240. As soon as we transition down here to 250 indicated, I'll go to a speed hold and we'll really pick up that descent rate. Right now we are... vertical speed required 3,000 feet a minute, but that's if I were to make a waypoint at Atna. Let's see, what is there an actual restriction? Atna, there is a 3460. I'll tell you what, let's, so it is 3460. All right. So we are... Get back to my... Smart glide. Alright. Alright, back to our map page, 3190. We need about 3,200 feet per minute, so we need to pick up this rate of descent. And it's going to be nighttime. It's going to be sus. Comments? Key 6. Comments are not endorsed by the Department of Defense. Dress set. Then, of course, you have Stargate SG-1. Ay. Someone check to see if the... Oh, we already read that one. I remember convos like this when I smoked pot in college. This chat is AI generated and all names similarities are purely coincidental. I agree with you. Maybe this is why... This has a reason why we're, I was banned from VATSIM. It's because government agency. Maybe VATSIM is a secret government agency and they know that we're onto them. Alright. Zooming out. Let's keep coming down with the thumb barrow thing. What is it called? The thumb or the barrel knob on the yoke? I can't remember. Approaching that 3,000 foot per minute descent. You know what? I might just bring the power back. I might just keep using the yoke thing. Seems to be working pretty good. We'll keep coming down. I'll scroll in 4,000. Well, there's no terrain. We're over the water. What the hell? Let's scroll in 3,400 feet. We'll try the LPV. This will be a good practice in case we need to. This is all part of our practicing for our South America LEAR tour. So we're probably going to have to shoot some LPV approaches in the mountains for real. So this will be a good practice. LPV into Key West. This just be that History Channel alien guy's private jet. I know exactly what you're talking about, Wingnut. My buddy said the little red button also emergency retracts the speed brake. Is that modeled? The little red... Oh, yeah, emergency speed brake retract right here? Yeah, so... Now, I wasn't aware of this, so I guess you can deploy the speed brakes in flight, too. There's nothing that says you can't. But they are very... There's no... So unlike the Airbus or the Adoptibus, there's no axes to your speed brake. Same on the Citation. They're either full out or they're in. And I'll tell you from just flying Citations around, when you pop those suckers to the extend mode in flight, it comes down. They are very, very effective. Now, the LEARs look even larger, and when I do this in the sim here, it's even more effective. So I'm curious. Now, let's just ruin our whole flight so we can test this for wingnut. Let's extend them, and let's see if the Oh, that's emergency brake. Where's the emergency retract? Is it on the yoke? This one right here? Will this retract the speed brakes? Because I have that one bound. We can try an emergency retract. I don't know if it's modeled. Oh, red button on the yoke. All right, let's find out. So I have the red button on the yoke bound. But for testing purposes, let's just press the actual physical button. So I will extend the speed brakes, and you will notice a pretty rapid change. And I'm going to press that. Oh, so that disconnected it. I don't know. No, I'm going to restow them. I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't do it at nighttime. Let's re-engage AFCS. Let's go speed hold. Let's bring the power back. I couldn't tell if it was actually modeled. All right, so speed brake extend. We're doing 5,000 feet a minute. And if I press the red button on the yoke, I think they're still extended. But see, my switch is still in the extend position. I don't know if that would be like an emergency still. I'm not quite sure, Wingnut. But I mean, look how effective those were. Geez. So I'm going to turn speed hold off. Let's go ahead and pitch reference it down. We'll do 4,000 feet a minute here. We're still at 22 thou. Cabin's coming down. Let's go ahead and get all our lights on since we're descending like a banshee. We'll go with recogs on. Everything else is on. We'll get the fan on since we're out of the high flight levels. We'll get that back on. That's off. No, off. Fan mode. Fan mode on. Cool. Is anyone else's ears bleeding? They work on axis in the sim. I learned that by axis. Yeah, JB. So what I've done, which is I think it's the best workaround for right now, unless you want to use SPAD. So I have this bound to my detent on one of my Bravo axes. So as soon as I go into the detent, it trips the spoiler to extend, and it's to the right of my throttle. So it's very realistic as far as where it would be in the position on the throttle quadrant. And then to stow it, I bring it out, and when I bring it out, it trips the axis and restows the speed brake. So that's how I have mine bound. But I also, you know, on the LEAR videos on YouTube, I see the first officer, he has his hand right here to deploy him upon touchdown. That's the first thing you're supposed to deploy. We used to do the same thing in the Citation, except in the Bravo, I could reach it with my own finger. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was like right here on this side. So first thing you touch down, spoiler, extend, and then pop the reversers. Let's go, speaking of reversers, let's go ahead and arm the thrust reverser left and right. That's armed. We're getting ready to go through 18,000 feet. Let's go ahead and keep increasing this pitch ref. We don't want to get behind here. We're still 35 miles out, 18,000. We're catching up to it. We're a little bit slow. We're 210 knots. But it is pitch black out here. But y'all want to see a night landing, so let's give it a shot. All right, we're out of 18. Magic Barrel ref. Actually, it must not be because, yeah, 2988 is set. 2988 is set. We'll do an alert height, 300 feet. Let me go back. Charts. Full size. RNAV. LPV 253. 250 feet above the ground, so it's 250. So let's do a 250 rad out. 250 is set. Weakness says I'll have to buy this for science. You should, man. I think it's only going to get better. And again, that's another one of the reasons why I. We stopped navving. Dang it, Wingnut. Look what you did, man. Disengaged our nav mode too. It's heading back over. I know from what FlySimware has done with the 414. And from what it was when it was in early access, because I remember I picked it up as soon as it was available, I have no doubt in my mind this bird is going to be a well-polished, really nice Learjet. Not that it's not already. It's definitely not polished. I think you could say it's not polished right now. But that's what you sign up for when you do early access. All right, we can turn our half bank off and nav engage. We're back in nav mode. We're getting ready to go through 11.7 and it's still pitch black. I'm gonna go ahead and kill the floodlight. I mean, this is about as dark as you. There's a little, look at that. There's just a sliver of moon out there. Team Valk, you just went past Carter. Where's Carter? Are you on a star? I'm going to Atna. If I go back here, let's take a look at our flight plan again. We're Atna and Busby for the RNAV 9er. I want to activate approach, but not vectors to final. Load and activate. Alright, we're 250 knots below 10. We are getting ready to level off at 3,400. We can... Let's make that 4,000. We caught up to that pretty good. 4,000 feet. Oh, you loaded the visual? Alright, well, For the Alien, the History Channel Alien Learjet, we got to do a published procedure at night. I love that old school beacon. Great hunting conditions on the ground, though, for sure. Have you ever had a loss of SA and IMC? To what extent? Not off the top of my head. Definitely not in an airliner. I don't think I've ever lost SA in an airliner. As far as, you know, being a threat or anything. The closest I would have been to losing SA would have been when I was flying freight. And it was that night I've mentioned before on here where I'm doing a circling approach. I'm arcing to an NDB circle approach, and I popped the boots. And I got dazed by looking at the ice on the wing. I didn't realize I had clear ice on the wing. So when I popped the boots, it looked like a Krispy Kreme on steroids on the leading edge. And I had no idea that there was any ice on there. But I was like, I'm in icing conditions. I don't see anything. And I'm using a lot more power than I should be using. So I blew the boots, and the entire wing just turned white. Or not the wing, the entire boot turned white. So I was kind of mesmerized by that. And I remember thinking to myself, what am I doing with my life? And then I quickly realized I need to get my head back in the game, or I'm going to end up on the ground where I'm not supposed to be. So that would have been the closest I've been to losing SA as far as I can remember. All right, we'll make the turn at Atna here. 11 miles out. Let's make some radio calls in case anyone's flying into Key West tonight. Oops, that's not it. Key West traffic, Lear 7 Sierra Delta, 4,000 feet. We're about 10 miles from Atna. We're setting up for the GPS runway 9 or Key West. Click on the vectors box in procedure and give you transition options. Probably too late now. Well, I loaded the transition. Well, that's all right. Well, yeah, it might be too late now. I'll have to get better at it. So Atna inbound. Let me go back. I can just look at the charts now, right? Yeah, so Atna is the IF. Busby is the final. We're going to just leave this chart up. Let's go ahead and slow down to about 200 knots, at least about 180 I think is more ideal. Let's get our air ignitions on as we get ready for final approach. Once we turn inbound, we'll activate, or we can arm the approach, or activate vectors to final. I'm not sure. I'm not sure the process, the steps. Because if I activate vectors to final now, it'll throw us off. I'm going to join the final first. All right, we're slowing below 200 knots. Below 200, we can go flaps 20. We'll go flaps 8 first. Neil, yep, we got to be careful not to confuse. That's why we're using a GPS approach tonight. Because you can definitely confuse it for the Naval Air Station. All right, there's below 200, flaps 8. Man, it is dark out here. I'm like turning down my lights to help my night vision in the sim. Look what's cool. You can see the chart. You can see the 750 reflection up here. That's so cool. All right, we'll go flaps 20, 180 knots. We'll set our power. Should be making a turn any moment now. Let's get a little more power in there. VREF Simmer, good evening. It is dark. All right, power set about 80 on the turbine. What's that, 70% N1 for about 180 knots? That seems about right. VREF Simmer, there's a ton of good documentation in the Discord right now. Because it's still early access, I don't think there's any official documents in the download folder. I'd have to check. I don't know. I know a guy who tried to land a Hornet at Key West by accident. Wow. That wasn't you, was it? You... Wingnut trying to like low key just play it cool. Yeah, I knew a guy once. Meanwhile, it was him. V1, you should fly this third down South America, get intercepted again. Hey, Alexandra Bellina, we just we were talking about it a few minutes ago. We are going to do a South America Lear jet tour. Someone's trying to transmit. All right, activate vectors to final. And oh boy. Why don't I like that? Oh, because we're high. We gotta be down 3,400. You're down. Alright, no back course, half bank. We're navving. Glide slope cap. We're above it, but it's coming down. Oh, we need to get the flight recorder on. Yeah, as soon as we get our cargo livery, we're gonna take it down.
November 99 takeoff, ending the RNAV 9.
Now we got to be careful this sucker doesn't drive us into the ground here. I'm not sure. I don't know if we've captured a false glide slope. I almost feel like we have. Final approach fixed 1,500 feet.
We're
so
descending 10,000 for 1,500 for the RNP 09 at QS.
Let's go ahead and start the recording. I can see the runway, but I want to see what happens here. We were late on this. Key West traffic, Lear 7 Sierra Delta, about 8 mile final runway 9 Key West. All right, there's 17. So there's our vertical path. So that's actually working. We're catching up to it. All right, let's go ahead and go flaps 40. We'll slow to our VREF speed. We should be right around that 120-ish. Watching our AOA needle. I'm gonna let it fly on autopilot here for a minute. This is for testing purposes, scientific purposes. Doing a good job, actually. I can see the pappies now. Getting that power in there. Man, look at that crosswind. We got a good 10 knot or 10 degree crown
US
here.
traffic, Clipper 714. We're
Clipper.
23 miles to the north of Adna. You're looking to join the RNAV 9 or traffic?
Alright, so it's RNAV and just fine. It's looking real good, actually. We could take it down to 250 feet. I'm slowing up there. I think we actually need to be below 120. Looking at our AOA, I'm going to bring these bugs back. That's one thing we're going to have to lock in before going to South America is our approach speeds and weights. I'm going to need to print off a card. Just monitoring that AOA. We're still a little bit hot. Let's go ahead and bring some power off. Looking pretty good. Maybe about
500.
Oh my gosh, that scared me. That was way louder than anything else. All right, she's settling in right there, about 110. All right, autopilot's coming off. There's our minimum flash. Ride it down. We don't want to be long here. Ooh, good night. That was a firm one. Nose wheel steering, pressing and holding. On center, let's go nose wheel steering on. Oof. And that is why this airplane is so much fun. I was practicing my naval aviation landing here. All right, let's stow it. How do we get off this runway? Is there a taxiway here? It is so dark. Was it really a 410? Oh my word. Hey, we're beating up the LEAR. We're beating it up. Ryanair application has now been accepted. You're the ones that wanted me to fly on the Key West at night. I didn't want to float. I didn't want to float. Navy is proud. Stow the speed brakes. Bring the flaps up. I'm going to keep all these lights on because I can't see where we're going here. It is a dark. Bomb Tech, glad you enjoyed it, man. I don't even know where we are here. We're going to go follow this line. And we'll stop it right here. We'll park where the 121 airlines park. Ooh, a little bit long. Brakes are set. Whew. I love this airplane. Alright. Where's everybody at? Whoa. Anybody on final out there? I know there was a LEAR behind us. Let's zoom up here to the end of the runway. Where'd everybody go? Alright. Let's take a look at the replay. We'll disconnect. And let's watch the replay with a little bit of light, though, because no one wants to just look at it all night time. We'll just do a little bit of light. There we go. They all diverted. All right, here we go. Resume. Zach, hey man, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Take it easy. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight on LEAR and Chill. Learjet and Chill. Got the sounds way down. Viewer discretion advised on watching replay. Let's see. Margarita time, Robin. I'm going to go home and make a legit margarita, I think. I think we're going to celebrate tonight. We're going to celebrate Learjet operations. I wish I had my sim at home, man, because I would fly this thing all into the wee hours of the morning and sip it on some bourbon. Ooh! Yeah, we needed more flare, but hey, 10 for 10 on centerline. 10 for 10 on centerline, all right? Gotta give me that. Lear and Chill tinfoil edition. I mean, this was bang on the touchdown zone. This is how you got to land it in Key West. You just got to do this. I've seen worse. Hell yeah, Tyson. That sounds good to me, man. Flair? Never heard of her. I've been talking to you too much, Wingnut. You're starting to rub off on me here with this whole no flare. It's just so slippery, man. This airplane is so slippery. Oh, I mean, that was bang on the touchdown zone. Bang on. But every bit of 400. I mean, every bit of it. There is no softening of that in the replay here. Let me pause it on impact. I mean, we are right in the... I mean, we're not short, but like we are right on the markers. Pretty good. Pretty good. I'm going to, this is what we're going to do. Drone cam, reset, bring you back right here. This is going to be sweet. Watch this. Drone cam. This is going to be the view, Chad. I'm going to leave you with this one. Oh, I never put it in replay mode. This is going to be what you want to see. And then I'm going to get out of here. Drone follow, drone rotation maximum. Wind it back. Let's see. I mean, look at that. It just looks like it's slippery. It's like riding a scooter with one foot blindfolded and drinking a bourbon. That's how I feel on approach with this thing. That's just how I feel. Now imagine if we had some really, really good external sounds. That's all we need. All right. Make it full daylight. Hold on. All right. We'll brighten it up. You can see that, right? Wait, you got no night vision? What's going on? You can't see anything. Too many chemtrails. Ooh. All right. Thanks for the Twilight Zone stream. Y'all had a lot of fun. Thank you for hanging out tonight. I hope you enjoyed this edition of Learjet and Chill. Hopefully we'll have another one in the coming days. If not, until the next one, stay safe, stay healthy. The Wingnut said I've had softer carrier landings. Well, we're going to end it on that one. I cannot top that. Wingnut has had softer carrier landings than that right there. Goodness. Man, Wingnut, when you upgrade or plan on it, I mean, you could do it from the right seat too, I'd imagine. But when the next time somebody plants it, that's the ultimate comment. You got to say that. Like, that's awesome. Just be like, I've had softer carrier landings. Oof. Better buy him a beer, though. All right, I'm out of here. Stay safe, stay healthy. I'm V1. See ya. ammo. I can't.